Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Luke. Today I'm bringing you guys a battle that I had against a good friend of mine called MegaDPAL. He did post to beta recently. It was a really good upload, so you guys should definitely check that out if you haven't seen it already. Just show some support to beta as well. I hear it's doing really well. So let's go with the battle. My opponent here is going to leave with a Jirachi. I'm just going to go ahead and leave my Keldeo. Why not? So I'm going to switch out straight away and go to my Rotom. I knew that U-turn was a possibility and I should have gone to Landorus really, but at the same time, I really wanted to bait the Tangrowth, which does end up paying off, but it did mean that, I had to take a U-turn, but whatever. So I end up getting a trick off on this Tangrowth, which is going to be really nice for me, as you guys are going to see later on. I do unfortunately have to take a Sleep Powder, but it does stop him putting everything to sleep, once I do lose my Sleep Fodder. So I bring in Politoed here, as he brings in Jirachi, was perfectly fine, I get my rain up. Momentarily, as you're going to see, he does make the best play, really, and goes out to his Hippowdon to get the stand up. And I just end up hitting that thing with the Scald as it comes in. Again, Hippowdon obviously carries the slack off, so it can recover, so it's not really too worried about that damage. But I do end up hitting it with a Toxic, and the reason being is because I knew that he'd want to go for Stealth Rocks this turn to get him up nice and early in the match, because I am going to be switching a lot. He knows that, so it's a good play on his part. But great for me, I do get some residual damage on the Hippowdon. So he's going to bring in Starmie here, as I end up going for a Scald. That's obviously in my best interest to switch here, because he could hit me with a T-Bolt if he wanted to. I really honestly thought that he wouldn't go for it, just because I do have potential switchings on my team, but I guess, looking at it now, there really is no reason not to go for it. So he does end up hitting me with that, and again, I can't really afford to take another hit now, because he does have his Hippowdon around, and I do really want to try and get the rain up if I can, because I do have a Keldeo sat there lying in the wings. So I end up bringing in Rotom here. He ends up hitting me with a T-Bolt. Again, Rotom is asleep, and looking at his team, it's not necessary to have Rotom. It would have been nice, but seeing as it was asleep anyway, I don't really see any of his pokes on his team allowing me 5 turns potentially, to wake up from sleep, or 3 turns, sorry, to wake up from sleep. So yeah, I fodder it for that reason. So I go into Politoed here, and I end up, I believe, just going for a Scald. Yep, just catching the Hippowdon as it comes in, bringing it down even lower, which is nice. Now right here again, obviously I want to keep my Politoed alive, because the sand is now up again, and I do need to get the rain up again. So right here, he's going to switch out, probably expecting me to want to switch, but I end up hitting the Tangrowth with the Scald. I knew he would either want to slack off predicting my switch, or he'd just want to switch himself. So that's my reasoning for that play right there. Now right here, you can see I'm just going to go for the Protect. I do know that he is choice locked into Giga Drain, so what I can do is actually make a switch over to my Scizor. Now right here, he could have switch, which would have been in his best interest, to switch to I don't know, something rather, Heatran to threaten my Scizor. But as I said, because he is choice locked into Giga Drain, I can freely switch into my Scizor. Now right here, I could have gone for the superpower, but knowing that he does have a Starmie at low health, I am going to be able to just go straight for the U-turn. Again, bringing in Heatran would have been a viable play, but I guess he really did just make the best play in foddering off his Starmie. So now I can bring in the Latias, which is great for me. It's absolutely fantastic. He is going to go out into his Heatran here. I'm just going to go for a Surf to get off as much damage as possible to bring that thing down. Also to scout his set to see what kind of Heatran it is. You can see here he is a slightly more defensive variant, as he does reveal the Lava Plume, which is great. I don't get burned, which is fantastic. And right here, he's just going to go for the Protect, as I end up going for the Surf again. Well, sorry, I go for the Recover, predicting the Protect, because I was going to go for the Draco Meteor to catch the Tangrowth on the switch in for the Surf. But I knew he would go for it then, so yeah, right here I go for the Surf again. I don't know why I didn't go for Draco that turn. I don't know. I think it's this turn he's going to go for the Protect, and I think I just go for the Recover or the Surf to make him believe that, I'm going to go for it again before I go for the Draco. So yeah, there we go. I'm going to convince him that I'm going to go for the Surf again, and then let him switch out and keep his Heatran alive. It really does make sense for him to keep his Heatran alive and switch to his Tangrowth. So for that reason, I end up going for the Draco Meteor there. A few turns ahead of myself, but I end up taking it out with the Draco nonetheless, which is nice. It is really nice to get that thing out of the way. It is choice. It does have Sleep Powder. My Sleep Fodder is dead, so makes sense. So now he's going to bring in his Jirachi. I know this thing is Choice Scarf, so I'm going to make a switch out to my Keldeo here. Obviously, he's going to want to go for the U-turn or the Ice Punch. He does end up going for the U-turn, which is perfectly fine. He ends up going out to his Terrakion. Now, this is not something I want to mess with, so I do need to make a switch. Landorus is the best switch in. I do have the Intimidate. I can lower his attack, and obviously I can take the hit and resist it. So that's going to be, probably my most optimal switch in at that point. So right here, I know he's most likely going to want to switch. He's not going to want to take an Earthquake from a Landorus. He's definitely going to want to save his Terrakion for later on. So I believe right here, I'm just going to go straight for the Earthquake anyway, knowing that he's going to want to bring in the Hippowdon. Now I can bring in my Politoed. Unfortunately, a miscalculation on my part. I'm not going to be able to live Stealth Rock, so I'm not actually going to be able to get my Rain up. But in any case, he brings in his Jirachi here as I end up going out into my Scizor for his Ice Punch. Again, he is Choice Scarf, so I do know that he is locked into that right now. He's going to go for Ice Punch again. That's why right here I'm going to stay in and go for the Superpower. I just want to get as much damage off on it as possible, and I didn't want to U-turn because the pokes that I have to draw in on his turn with my potential switch are not nice, so I really just wanted to stay in at that point, and I end up switching to Keldeo now, and unfortunately I get frozen, and this really could have been potentially, you know, game changing. You guys are going to see. So he ends up bringing the Terrakion now. Again, I have a perfectly good Landorus. There's no reason for me to stay in. I may as well go to that and get the Intimidate on this Terrakion, which is what I end up doing here. Now he's going to end up switching out and going out into his Jirachi at this point. Again, really not worried. I'm a Landorus, so I can go for that, you know, if I want to, but he's just going to go straight for the Ice Punch and take me out. I could have switched, and I probably should have. He still has Terrakion. Again, one of the plays that I do regret big time during this game, but hey, you know. So he ends up going out into Heatran now. Too little too late, I guess, but I end up, you know, hitting it with Superpower. I guess it was really the only opportunity that I had to hit it with Superpower, so, you know, I guess it wasn't too late. But I end up hitting it with that. Now right here, I obviously need to make a switch, so I end up going out into my Politoed as fodder, basically, just to give me a free switch to whatever I want to switch in. And that is Latias. Right here, he is just going to go for the close combat, confirm that he is Scarfed. I do know this is a Scarf Jolly set. So he's just going to take me out right there. I did want to confirm it though, because again, he could have changed his team quite easily. So I bring in Scizor now. Now I know he's going to want to predict the Jirachi switch and go for the U-turn, so I do end up staying in and going for the Bullet Punch to take out his Terrakion. And I'm just going to go for the Bullet Punch here on his Jirachi. It's not quite going to take him out. He's going to be able to take me out with 9 head. And right here, you guys are going to see, if I wasn't frozen, there is a possibility that I could have not flinched here and taken him out. I did go for Surf. Would have killed it from there, but yeah, I end up knocked the one out, and that's the game. So absolutely great game from MegaDPAL. I hope you guys did enjoy the battle. If you did, you can also feel free to come check my channel out. Again guys, that's if you enjoyed it. I'm not pushing anything on you guys, but if you guys did enjoy this video, I'm sure Beta and MoshPit would show their appreciation if you could leave this video a rating, a like or dislike, just to give them some feedback. That would be great. And also don't forget to check out MegaDPAL's battle on PMP Beta. Thanks for watching guys. Take care.